On TrainMasters.TV, we've been doing a regular series called DCC Decoded, where we explore all of the ins and outs of using digital command control. And we're pleased to have Matt Herman join us from ESU, the makers of Loksound, and more recently the Loksound Full Throttle series of sounds. Matt has gone over a number of features with us on TrainMasters, and today we're going to be talking specifically about the DriveHold feature.
Right.
I understand that some people think that there's a lot of button pushing involved in this, and we want to dispel that myth.
Right.
So why don't you start by telling us what DriveHold is?
Well, DriveHold is a feature as a part of Full Throttle. Full Throttle is an upgrade to the sound files that we made in about the middle of 2016. So, and that allows us to, we've added breaks, we've added new sounds, a lot of different things encompass Full Throttle, but the major point of it is DriveHold. So what DriveHold does, and we have it on F9 here, but what it does is it separates the sound from the motion of the engine when DriveHold is on. So when I press the button, the sound can be moved up and down, but the motion stays the same.
Okay.
So yes,
so you're keeping a constant speed,
correct,
but you can emulate going up a hill versus going down a hill or coasting through a yard.
Or we can pretend to go up a hill even though we're on a completely flat layout like we are here today.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Why don't you show us how it works then?
Absolutely.
We've got, as our demonstrator, we have Vermont Railway 206. This is one of the engines that's used on the TrainMasters.TV project layout, which is built for the one module approach. That series is currently going on TrainMasters, so people can check that out. Let's get started.
Okay. We have a typical GP38. It's a 645 16-cylinder non-turbo, 645E. Not that that matters. This will work with any of the diesels, and as we're going to be doing on some upcoming features, maybe we'll do some steam. So
we'll definitely do some steam.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that.
Yes.
So let's just turn on the prime mover, which is 8, and it'll just go through its startup sequence. Now, without DriveHold on, it will work just like any other decoder. If you have a pre-full throttle sound file loaded into your engine and you're consisting it with a full throttle file, you just don't use DriveHold on the full throttle files, and everything will consist the same. It'll work just like it's a normal file.
Okay.
But if you have these features, you're going to want more.
Right. Useful also if you're taking an engine that has full throttle in it to a friend's layout and they haven't done that upgrade, or they're using different
It may be a
decoders.
different brand or something like that. So without these full throttle features, the buttons pressed, it'll work with other brands, it'll work with our previous, any of that. So, so basically to get started here, just to show you, what's going to happen, just normal sounds. We turn up the throttle. It's just going to act normal, like we've said.
And we've got a bit of momentum built into that already, so the engine revs up and then the locomotive starts to move.
Exactly. So now, in order to get this thing moving, what I normally do, it depends on what the engine is. If it's just an engine by itself, light engine, it's going to accelerate and decelerate much quicker. So I'll set my momentums based on basically a light engine, which will happen quickly. Because the nice thing about DriveHold is I can adjust my acceleration based on what train I'm pulling.
Okay.
So now, it doesn't take much to just one engine moving by itself, so I can press my DriveHold button, and rather than taking the throttle up, I can bring it down. So I can bring that down to 0, like you see on the screen, and the sound's going to come down to idle, and I can just coast or drift.
Right.
I just move, now my motion stays the same. If I want to bump it up a notch.
And this represents, of course, the real locomotive weighs many, many tons.
Exactly.
Once it's moving, its own inertia is going to keep it rolling, and
Very well said.
The prime mover doesn't need to do any work.
Right. Now, because of undulations in the track and friction and all that stuff, you still may need to go up a notch or two to keep it moving. That DriveHold's holding that motion, but I can adjust that just like I'm playing an instrument.
Right.
So, need to go up a little more. Maybe I'm coming uphill a little bit. I've got enough, drop it back down, and I can coast it. Now I can also use this to stop, so I can almost double it as a brake. If I just turn it off, turn it back on, it's now going to try to match where I'm at. Now, I'm not quite coupled here because we're on a curve, so I'm going to go ahead and do this by hand.
Sure. But by using the DriveHold button and just turning F9 on and off,
Yep.
you can slow it down, and then hold it again to let it coast a bit more, slow it down some more, and you can make a nice,
basically,
easy coupling.
I just toggle it on and off. And by doing that, again, I can adjust my momentum, which we're going to show you here now. I switch my direction here, so I'm going the other way. So now I'm going to turn DriveHold on first. So
before you even move the engine.
Exactly. So I'm going to hold it at stop. So I press my DriveHold button, and I just slowly start to rev it up. Maybe I want to do an air test. I can do that. Go up to about notch 4. In notch 4, the air compressor goes into its second stage and it pumps a little bit faster, so I can get through the train a little quicker. After notch 4, there's not enough volume in the line, so you're not going to gain anything. It's just making noise in a sense. But okay, now my air is pumped up, I can bring that back down. So,
but that's something that is difficult to emulate if you don't have the ability to separate the engine sound from the actual motor movement.
Sure. So now we've got our air pumped up, everybody's back on the engine. So if we just, again, I leave my DriveHold button on, I've not taken it off. We want to create electricity with the prime mover, so we're revving it up, but there's too much weight there's not enough electricity in the traction motors to get moving. So I start revving it up like it's working, it's working, it's working. Finally it breaks free, so I just toggle my F9 on and off, and I can finally start to move. And once I have it moving, maybe I still need more to keep it moving. I get to choose this though.
Right.
So it's just one button and
you're not changing the speed, but you're changing the sound of the work of the engine. So now it sounds like it's pulling a heavy train and it's really struggling against gravity and inertia.
Exactly. Now if I want to increase the speed, toggle it off and on. Toggle it off and on. And you can see just the normal momentum when I toggle it off, it's trying to catch up to where the throttle is.
Sure.
Off and on. It's all it is, a lot of toggling that button off and on, but I get to choose. Maybe I need a little more. I've got enough now. Drop it like it's hot, all the way down to idle, and it just drops very hard. Or I can slowly work its way down.
But now because we've got it moving, it's going to stay in motion. With DriveHold on, the model still runs.
That's right. The speed is constant.
Gone down to idle.
Maybe I need a little more to keep it coasting through the yard. Keep it moving. Bring it back down. Because now I've got that inertia, as you said before.
Very nice. Well, that's a very powerful feature, and one that by pressing one button off and on to engage it really changes the experience of running the train, doesn't it? That's the sort of thing that you might even want to take that and function map it to a button that's really convenient for you, which is one of the things that we're actually going to be talking about in the DCC Decoded series on TrainMasters. So be sure to join Matt and me for more on TrainMasters.TV, where we'll explore DCC more thoroughly. Thanks for coming in today,
Thank you, Trevor.
Let's get it running again.
Sure.